So then let's go look at Dante replay.
Opening is very similar, so it's a direct replacement basically of Dante to the grot space where the grot would go and killing that left marine.
In this case, the clone order is set so that Karn is the third clone if he's cloned. Anshi is first, Dante is second.
So you want to keep Dante close to Karn, plus 2 hexes as you see here, so Dante is buffing Karn. We also use the Hellbreak active again to increase the pierce, and with those buffs, it's a guaranteed 100% kill of the 2 marines.
Yeah, so that's the upside from the Snot version. And as we mentioned, for some reason this hex being occupied by one of our allies seems to be what's triggering Magnus to come forward. So let's go ahead.
Yeah.
Same distraction mine as before.
Yeah, we lose the other distractions, the grots, so Hermes will go after our characters, but you will see the double hole is similar. We are losing some damage because Dante hits weaker than Snot in the double hole turn. So we'll see. In comparison to the other one, its
damage is lower.
Yeah, a little bit lower, but we get it back with the buffing Karn. So because you didn't have the growth, Ragnar was hit by the Terminator. You cannot really do anything about that, but Ragnar's still capable of surviving the next hit. But then again, you need to be more careful. Mm-hmm. So you will see it's very similar. Again, it could have been played differently because you could have just hit with Ragnar first and then move Helbrecht between Dante and Karn to buff all 3 characters instead of just 2. Yeah, and then...
Yeah, so in this case, the Biowar active was used more like a distraction attack than a damage attack, correct? Because we don't have the grots.
So without Snot, yeah, you should use the active more frequently to prevent the Terminators attacking your characters. They hit pretty hard, so if your characters are D3, even then they hit pretty hard. If you are not, then they will just kill them. So try to keep them alive as much as you can.
Yes, on this turn, Ragnar has 2 gazes and will most likely die unless we're careful.
And we are not careful.
We are not careful in this run. So what could we have done differently with Ragnar here?
Probably not attacking with him, just moving to the back. And we could have buffed Karn and Dante with Helbrecht behind them. This is the second round of the circle, and it does a pretty big damage. The other play with Karn and Dante is to let some damage to Karn. So if you would have placed Karn into those fire, then I think he should still survive, but he would be below 50% of his health. And if we check Dante's ability, then we will see that if the affected unit is below 50%, then he gets an additional hit. And for Karn, it's pretty big because Karn has 3 separate attacks basically, so it's 3 additional hits. So from 12 hits, Karn goes to 15 hits, which is a pretty good increase of damage. But you need to check your Karn's health, and you need to make sure that you don't die.
Yeah, so this would be some math exercise. You're getting hit by 6 of these attacks. So you would have to check if he survives.
Yeah, and in theory you can also use Dante's active to
because that reduces
decrease the damage as well. In some cases you can even try to save Ragnar that way. A calculation to know exactly what is needed to save.
Okay, let's move ahead.
Again, the active, so we have more spores.
Yep.
One thermic can only kill one.
And Ragnar died as expected. That's a guarantee kill, so couldn't be any other way.
And we also gained high ground for Karn, which is great.
Yeah. And Karn is our biggest damage dealer after the Ragnar Double Howl turn, so should aim for high ground with him if possible. That's probably it. Last turn, just do as much damage as possible. And there we have it. Hopefully that was useful to see what it does and some of the runs of how we can deal with it. There's obviously, like we talked about in both of those runs, some room for improvement, and we believe that at least 600k damage is possible on a good day, but obviously we can also get Magnus to do a whole bunch of clones and make life very difficult, so that's not an average. Any last words, Broken?
It's a difficult fight and it's random, so if the opening is good, then you just try to do whatever Magnus decides to do and follow him around.
Alright, thank you very much, Broken, for your insights. Very useful.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for watching. So see you another time. Bye bye.
Bye. See you.